Alright, so first things first, you guys are going to need a white pair of Huaraches. These are the ones I chose to use. Those are also the only ones I have. And then a brush set. And then this is the color that I chose, which is Brilliant Purple. And it's just acrylic paint. So any acrylic paint works great for these. I also got a yellow paint for the ombre part. And this is Textile Medium. And then I have some plastic cup things to hold my paint. So pretty much I just put the paint inside there, and you really don't even need that much. Like, you can start with just a little bit, and then just like if you need to add more, like I'm pretty sure I wasted paint. And I know you guys are probably wondering, like, this isn't a makeup tutorial, blah blah blah. And like, I'm a person, like, I'm really into DIY projects, so I thought I would show you guys how I changed my shoes. And so right now I am just doing like the leather kind of part, I guess. I don't know, leather, just like the outside part, but not anything that has to do with the fabric. When I first started painting the shoe, I was a little bit nervous. Like, I didn't really want to get anything on the fabric, and I would definitely recommend like trying really hard not to, because when you do mix it with the um like when you do see it on the fabric, I should say, it's definitely like a difference, because like obviously like the acrylic paint isn't mixed with the textile medium, which is pretty much like to make the fabric not hard, and you can kind of see that difference. But I mean, if you don't have a preference and you don't really care, then but just try to stay like as neat as possible and just away from the fabric area. I also did two coats of paint on the leather or pleather. I don't even know what kind of material this is, but I did two coats. So once you pretty much like do one shoe and then you start the other shoe, that shoe will dry, and then you'll do your other shoe, and then it kind of like works out for you. You know what I mean? So during this part, I kind of was just going over everything a little bit, and I was going in between like the leathers, the letters, and I was so nervous because I felt like there would be like excess paint, so I like thought there was gonna be excess like right there, and there was, so I like took it off the brush because I didn't want it to like cover the hole, because it kind of looks like it's like making the hole look like it's not a hole, because it just like there's just paint inside of it. So that was like pretty much like what I was doing at that part. Here I'm just pretty much showing you guys like what the first layer looks like, and yeah, so it's kind of scary, but because it's just like you're just like ruining shoes, but you're really not, because you're making them great. So that's what the textile medium is for. It's so the fabric doesn't get hard. So you're gonna mix the acrylic paint with the medium just so it pretty much just stays like flimsy, I guess you want to say, and just like easy to like put your shoe on and you can move it. And the way you're gonna do that is pretty much just a 1 to 2 ratio. So you're gonna only need like one of the medium and like one portion of the medium versus like two portions of the acrylic paint. I chose to do pretty much like to where like I can tell the acrylic paint was like moving. I'm not moving. Wow, I'm an idiot. Pretty much like just like really liquidy, really liquidy. That's kind of like how I did it. And yeah, you just need one layer. I'll also say I was a little bit nervous because, as you can tell, like the part that I put like on the fabric, it looked lighter than like the leather parts or whatever, and I was like, oh snap, like I'm not okay. So that's why I kept doing like the front part over and over again, because I messed up, but it came out the same color in the end. Okay, so now I'm just taking my yellow, and I already mixed it with the textile medium or whatever, so I'm just using a brush and just blending it and trying to blend it. But I'll show you guys like how I blended the purple and the yellow together. So pretty much I took a makeup sponge and I like ripped it in half, and I first dipped it in the paint or whatever, and I didn't like the line. I was like, oh my god, like what the heck. because it was just showing those lines. So I broke it up even more into like a smaller piece that was more like had no sharp edges on it, and then that worked perfectly great for me, and I use that like for the rest of the time. So like as you can see, like this is pretty much like how I blended it. Thank you for makeup for understanding how to blend. And if I felt that I went too far down, I just took my purple and just like kind of cleaned it up a little bit. One thing I forgot to mention in this video is what I used to set the shoe, and it's pretty much Krylon matte finish, and it's good to get the UV one because obviously you're going to be in the sun with your shoes, and that's pretty much so like your shoes don't get messed up and they last longer and the paint doesn't chip. So I'm using a blending brush, like a makeup blending brush, to do the splatter, and then I just dipped the paint or the brush into paint, a lot of paint, like thick layer paint, and then I put it in water, and then you're just gonna tap it just like this, and then that's just how you get the splatter. So pretty much I'm just tapping it and it's just making the splatter. And this definitely takes like practice, like so you want to like practice how much like water you want on the brush or need on the brush in order to create that splatter. You also are gonna like want to make sure like there's enough paint so it's not watery, but enough paint, enough water so it comes off. So you'll see. And then if I didn't really like, if I had too much paint, I would just like dab it with a paper towel to make it look more like splatter, you know. In case I got any splatter on like the leather parts, I just took paint from the thing and then just put it on there. And then just to do the Huarache logo, I just took paint out of the jar and just painted it on the logo. And for the shoestrings, I pretty much dipped the shoestrings in the textile mixture with the paint. And after this, I took them out and I pretty much like drenched, not drenched, but dried them, I guess, in a paper towel to pretty much try to get like all the excess paint that was inside. And then afterwards, I didn't film it because I'm like forgetting and I forgot that I had to do this. But all you have to do is pretty much blow dry them for like 30 seconds and then they like dry after you squeeze them. And then for the tips, I just wanted the tips or the ends to be purple. And I saw a pair of these shoes on Pinterest as well. Like that's kind of like where I got the idea from. I forgot to say that. But they were pink and yellow, so purple is like my favorite color. Um, and then as far as trying to get like that splatter look on the shoestrings, I just took that same blending kind of sponge that I used and just like dabbed it all over and just made it look like that. And that's how I did my shoestrings, and then I just like blow dried them. And you also want to blow dry the fabric on the shoes as well, just so it dries and it processes into the fabric, because that's what tells you like on the textile medium bottle. And then I just put my shoelaces in however I wanted them to be. You can do them however you want. You can also buy new shoelaces or like yellow shoelaces and then probably like tie-dye them. I feel like that would probably be like so much easier than what I did. But obviously this is my first time and I was just like trying to figure out what I wanted to do and how I wanted them to look. But that's the finished look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.